Hey guys, geez, what a World Series that was. If you don't know the results, Houston won their very first crown, very first World Series title. 55 years after first entering the baseball in 1962. So here's my sort of review of the World Series. Can I say this? It was the best ever. And I'm a Cardinals fan. I saw Game 6 in 2011. But this was the best series ever. I mean, Game 7, yeah, bit of a letdown. Would the result have been different if the Dodgers had not left 11 men on base? Maybe, maybe not. But you can't let one bad game overtake 6 magnificent games. Game 7 wasn't that bad, it was good, but not as good as the first 6. So let's start from the beginning. Game 1, Kershaw was brilliant, and Dodgers got the 3-1 win. Turner was magnificent. I did say before the start I thought he would get MVP, but I'll tell you he got MVP in a minute. And then Game 2 looked like it was going to be the same scoreline. It looked like it was going to be 3-1. Now this game will go down folklore. Game 2. And then 8th inning, Houston got a home run. 9th inning, got a home run against Jensen, who had, I think it was 43 saves this year. But in the World Series, he was not that good actually. But take nothing away from Houston, because George Springer started his magnificent World Series in Game 2. So then Houston went back to back in the top of the 10th. Then the Dodgers got the 2 runs back in the bottom of the 10th, and then Houston got the 2 runs back in the top of the 11th. So it was 7-5. Dodgers got 1 back, and then they lost 7-6. And you thought Game 2 was brilliant. Just wait to Game 5, but I'll talk about it in a second. Game 3, 5-3 to Houston. They had the big advantage, so they 2-1 the series. Verlander was brilliant in Game 3. Game 2 I think, or 3, 1 or 2. But the pitching from Houston was brilliant in Game 3. Dodgers not that good offensively, even though they scored 3 runs. So that was 2-1 to Houston. In Game 4, really good game of baseball. Not many people actually are talking about Game 4. It was actually a cracking game of baseball. It looked like at one stage we could have gone to extra innings, but then it happened the next day. But it was 1-1 actually, if I remember correctly. 1-1 going to the top of the 9th, and then LA went bang, 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 bang. They scored 5 runs, including a 3-run homer in the top of the 9th, and or it might have been 4 runs in the bottom and top of the 9th. They actually won Game 4 the Dodgers, so it was 2-2. Then you thought Game 2 was brilliant. Game 5 was even better. Now Dodgers led 3-0 after the top of the first, 4-0 in the bottom of the 4th. What happened next was unbelievable. Houston got back to 4-4 in the bottom of the 4th. LA then got 3 runs in the top of the 5th, 7-4. Against a guy like Kershaw, 99 times of 100, Kershaw would protect that lead. He couldn't protect a 4-0 lead. He couldn't protect a 7-4 lead. Because in the bottom of the 5th, Houston leveled it again at 7-7. And then LA went back in front, and then back and forward, and then it was 9-8 to Los Angeles, and then bottom of the 7th, I think it was the 7th, Astros scored 4 in 6 pitches, so 4 runs in 6 pitches. Then all of a sudden 12-9, Dodgers had scored 3 just to tie. Normally you would say 12-3 with 3 outs to go. Normally, no. But if you've seen the first 4 games and 7.5 innings of the World Series, you understand. 8 innings of the World Series, you would say no, it's not. Well, Puig did his bit. It went to 12-11. Then the Dodgers title was 12-12. Ended up being 13-12 Houston after 10. That was probably the best game I've ever seen. And that overshadows Game 6, 2011. Game 6 went back to Los Angeles. Dodgers had to win that to force Game 7. It deserved the Game 7. Don't get me wrong, it deserved the Game 7. Dodgers won 3-1. It's set up today. And for once, the Dodgers did not take their opportunities. Both teams took their chances in the first 6 games. The Dodgers did not take their chances today in Game 7, sadly. While on the other side of the ledger, you could probably say that half the factor was the Dodgers had 11 men left on base. I think 7 or 8 of them were left in scoring position, but the Astros kind of won the game in the first 2 innings of that game. It was 5-0. Ended up being 5-1. So, Kershaw was good coming out of the bullpen, but really, it was all over after the second inning, as far as I'm concerned. So, who got MVP? Well, it was George Springer. After what he went through in Game 1, which I think he was none from 4. Who would have thought a guy would get MVP coming back from his 0 from 4 in Game 1 to hit 5 homers? I mean, he was magnificent, and I give him credit. And just a brilliant all around effort by the Houston Astros, and Los Angeles, they will be back next year. They better not do what Cleveland did, which was lose the World Series and then lose the Division Series the following year, because that would make their World Series. I reckon Cleveland losing the Division Series would have made their World Series loss in 2016 taste bad. I missed Game 7 last year. I did not miss it today. So what's coming up? Well, the 2018 season begins in April, or late March I think it is. Cardinals go to New York to face the Mets. I reckon the Cardinals will be up there next year, but I think the team to beat will be Houston, so it'll be very, very interesting to see what happens. Coming up this summer here in Australia, we've got cricket, the Australian Baseball League. That's a pretty good comp. If you want to see it on YouTube, check out the ABL page, because they're pretty good, which stands for Australian Baseball League. Melbourne Cup's coming up next week actually, so I might do a live stream on Periscope or Instagram, so check me out then. I'm also going to the cricket late January, so yeah, 2020. Tennis is coming back here in a few weeks, so that'll be great. Golf's coming back here in a few weeks, and also the Supercars finale in Newcastle, which is over Sydney, and the Rugby League World Cup's going on here at the moment. And also I'll be doing a few more things this summer, like Adventure Time, because that's ending next year, which is really sad, because it's one of the greatest shows of our generation. Steven Universe returns next week in the States. I don't want any spoilers, because I may not see him next year. And there'll be a lot more as well, including Christmas. New Year's Eve I'll be live on Periscope and Instagram New Year's Eve. So there you go. So what a way to end the baseball season. One of the best World Series, if not the best World Series I've ever seen. George Springer deserved the MVP. Houston deserved their triumph. And I finally got to see the Game 7. So there you go. So what I think will happen from now? Well, a few players will retire. I don't know who will leave, who will stay. I know Washington, Philadelphia, and the Yankees are all looking for managers. So I'm interested to see who comes in next year. Jose Batista, he needs to find a team, and I reckon St. Louis is the perfect fit, because he's been released from Toronto. So it'll be absolutely fascinating. So if you want to catch up on thanks for watching. if you want to see more of my stuff coming up this summer, or winter, depending where you are in the world, click subscribe, like this video, comment, positive comments please. I will delete negative ones. Like always, because I don't like hate. Love and peace will beat hate. I keep saying it, I will always say it. So, click like, subscribe, comment, and I hope you enjoyed this kind of mini review into probably the best World Series of all time. Houston won 4-3. First team since the '85 Royals to win 2 Game 7s in the same season. That is very rare to do. Win 2 Game 7s in the same season. And who's my pick for the 2018 World Series title? Okay, well, Sports Illustrated showed you can pick it 3 years down the road. I'm going to pick mine now. It'll be St. Louis taking on either, because I can't pick, Houston or Kansas City. There, I've said. So, click, like, subscribe. Thanks, guys. Love yous all. And looking forward to seeing you over the summer or winter, depending where you are. Bye, guys.